Larry lived in a small, weather-beaten cottage on the outskirts of a bustling town. She was a resilient woman, her face etched with lines that told tales of hardships endured. Larry's days were spent toiling in the nearby fields, trying to eke out a living for herself and her young son, Ethan. Ethan, a bright-eyed boy with a mop of unruly brown hair, was Larry's source of strength. His laughter echoed through their humble home, a beacon of joy in their otherwise challenging lives. Despite the meager circumstances, Larry instilled in Ethan a sense of optimism, teaching him to find beauty in the simplest things. The sun rose early in their corner of the world, casting a warm glow over the fields that Larry tended. Each day brought a familiar routine of sowing seeds, tending to crops, and hoping for a bountiful harvest. The soil beneath Larry's calloused hands held the promise of sustenance, yet it often felt like nature conspired against her. Their dilapidated cottage, with its creaky wooden floors and patched-up roof, stood as a testament to the struggles they faced. But within those worn walls, a resilient spirit thrived. Larry's love for Ethan fueled her determination to provide a better life for him. As the seasons changed, so did the challenges that beset them. In the harsh winter, Larry and Ethan huddled together, their breath visible in the frigid air. Yet, despite the biting cold, they found warmth in shared stories and dreams of a brighter future. Larry's worn hands, withered by the toil of the fields, crafted makeshift toys for Ethan from scraps of cloth and wood. Their evenings were spent by the dim glow of a flickering candle, as Larry wove tales of faraway lands and adventures that sparkled in Ethan's eyes. In the heart of spring, a ray of hope blossomed. The first signs of green peeked through the soil, promising a harvest that could lift the weight of poverty from their shoulders. Larry's perseverance bore fruit, quite literally, as the fields transformed into a sea of vibrant colors. However, life has a way of testing one's resolve, and their newfound hope was challenged by an unexpected turn of events. A severe storm swept through the region, leaving destruction in its wake. The crops that held the promise of a better life were mercilessly beaten down by the unforgiving elements. Larry stood among the ruins, her eyes reflecting the devastation that mirrored her heart. It was a cruel twist of fate that threatened to snuff out the fragile flame of hope she had nurtured. Yet, as the storm clouds dispersed, revealing a tattered but resilient landscape, Larry's gaze turned to Ethan. In the face of adversity, she found strength in her son's unwavering belief in better days. Together, they salvaged what little they could and planted the seeds of resilience once more. The community touched by their determination, rallied to support the struggling mother and son. Neighbors offered a helping hand, providing not only physical assistance, but also a sense of camaraderie that had been missing from their lives. The once isolated cottage became a hub of shared stories, laughter, and collective strength as the seasons cycled through. Again, Larry and Ethan witnessed the fruits of their collective labor. The fields that had once bowed to the fury of the storm now stood tall, with a bountiful harvest. The community that had come together in times of need celebrated the resilience of the indomitable duo. Larry, once a symbol of silent strength, now stood as a pillar of inspiration in the town. Her story, etched in the collective memory, spoke of the power of love, determination, and community. Ethan, with the lessons of hardship and triumph ingrained in his spirit, grew into a young man with dreams as vast as the fields his mother had tended. In the end, the story of Larry and Ethan became woven into the fabric of the town's history, a testament to the enduring power of hope in the face of adversity. The sun that cast its warm glow over their humble cottage seemed to shine a little brighter, a silent witness to the remarkable journey of a poor mother and her resilient son. As the town embraced Larry and Ethan, their lives began to intertwine with the stories of those around them. The local school, once a distant dream for Ethan, opened its doors to the eager young boy. The community, recognizing his potential, pooled resources to ensure that education would be a stepping stone to a brighter future. Ethan, with a thirst for knowledge, sparked by the tales his mother spun, flourished in the nurturing environment of the school. The teachers, inspired by his resilience, tailored lessons that ignited his curiosity. The once poor boy with patched up clothes now stood alongside his peers, his dreams reaching beyond the fields that had been his playground. Larry, too, found a place within the community beyond the fields. A local artisan recognized her talent for crafting stories and offered her a platform to share her narratives with a wider audience. Her tales, once confined to the walls of their cottage, now resonated with people from all walks of life. The once struggling mother became a storyteller of the town, weaving narratives that echoed the collective spirit of triumph over adversity. Her words became a source of inspiration, and the townspeople eagerly gathered to listen, finding solace and strength in the lessons drawn from Larry's life. As the years unfolded, Ethan's academic prowess opened doors to opportunities that seemed impossible in their humble beginnings. Scholarships and mentorships became the stepping stones for his journey beyond the town. Larry, though proud, faced the bittersweet reality of her son's departure. The bond they shared, forged in the crucible of challenges, remained unbroken even as Ethan ventured into the wider world. The town, having witnessed the transformation of Larry and Ethan, continued to thrive as a community that valued resilience and compassion. The fields, once a source of struggle, became a symbol of collective strength and shared aspirations. The sun that bathed their town in golden hues each day seemed to carry the warmth of the stories lived and told by a poor mother and her indomitable son. Ethan, now a young man with a heart full of gratitude, returned to his roots, not as a reminder of poverty, but as a beacon of hope. Armed with knowledge and experience, he contributed to the town's development, ensuring that the cycles of hardship he and his mother had faced would become distant echoes in the past. Larry, in the twilight of her life, watched with pride as her son became a pillar of the community. The once poor cottage, now weathered by the passage of time, stood as a silent witness to the extraordinary journey that began with a mother's unwavering love and a son's resilient spirit. In the end, the story of Larry and Ethan transcended the boundaries of their individual lives. It became a parable in the town's collective consciousness, a reminder that in the face of adversity, love, determination, and community could transform the harshest landscapes into fields of opportunity and growth. The sun, setting on a town shaped by their story, cast long shadows that whispered of a legacy that would endure for generations to come. As Larry entered the golden years of her life, the town continued to thrive under the influence of her narratives and Ethan's contributions. The once humble cottage transformed into a community center, a place where people gathered not just for storytelling but for shared endeavors, celebrations, and support. Ethan's return had brought not only knowledge but also a vision for sustainable development. Together with other young minds who had grown up alongside him, he initiated projects that aimed to uplift not just individual lives but the entire community. From educational initiatives to sustainable farming practices, their efforts echoed the lessons learned from the challenges faced by Larry and Ethan. The town's fields, once the backdrop of struggle, now flourish not only with crops but with a sense of collective responsibility. The community implemented eco-friendly practices, turning adversity into an opportunity to cultivate a more sustainable and harmonious way of life. Larry, though frail, found renewed purpose in mentoring the younger generation. Her tales were not just stories of the past but guideposts for the future. The children of the town, wide-eyed and eager, listened as she recounted the journey from poverty to prosperity, instilling in them the values of resilience, compassion, and the strength found in unity. Ethan, recognizing the importance of preserving their shared history, collaborated with local artists to create a mural that depicted the story of Larry and their town. The mural adorned the walls of the community center, a vivid reminder that their collective strength was rooted in the struggles faced and overcome. As seasons passed, the town became a beacon of inspiration for neighboring communities facing similar challenges. Larry's tales, once confined to the walls of their cottage, now echoed through the region, fostering a sense of hope that transcended boundaries. The sun that had witnessed the hardships and triumphs of Larry and Ethan cast its benevolent rays not just on their town but on the interconnected tapestry of lives beyond. Ethan, having flourished into a leader, stood at the forefront of regional initiatives for social and economic development. The once poor boy from the outskirts of town became a symbol of transformation, illustrating that a resilient spirit and a united community could overcome even the most daunting obstacles. As Larry's journey neared its end, the town gathered to celebrate a life well lived. The community center, now a symbol of their shared resilience, hosted the event. Faces young and old, familiar and new, converged to express gratitude for the legacy left by a poor mother and her son, as the sun itself painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, a fitting tribute to a story that had unfolded under its watchful gaze. In the twilight of her life, Larry found comfort in the knowledge that the struggles she and Ethan had faced had not been in vain. Their story had become a catalyst for positive change, not just within their town but in the hearts of those who heard it. As Larry closed her eyes for the final time, she did so with a serene smile, knowing that the sun would continue to rise, bringing with it the promise of new beginnings inspired by a poor mother and her resilient son.